Daniel, a successful young businessman, was working late again. His boss had just emailed him some urgent revisions that needed to be done before the next morning, and so he sat there reading through them, typing and making changes. As the clock struck 9, he saw that his mum had called. It wasn't unusual for her to call this late. She often did, but Daniel ignored it. "I'll call her tomorrow," he thought. That night, after sending his last email, he crawled into bed and picked up his phone. There was a new message. It was from his sister. He opened it. "Have you seen Mum's message? She passed away in her sleep. No warning or anything. We think it might have been heart-related. The funeral arrangements will be next week. Come back home." His eyes went blurry. His fingers trembled. Was this really happening? How could this be? He remembered when he was younger and his mum would call him. She worked at a nursing home, caring for elderly patients, and because of the shift work, their calls weren't regular. So whenever he heard her call, he would jump up with excitement and run to pick up the phone, no matter how busy he was. He would talk to her for hours, listening to her voice, asking about her day. Then he would tell her all about his. He missed her so much now that he was older and had his own life going on. He felt guilty that he didn't call her more often. But what hurt the most was when he knew she had passed away, not knowing that it would be the very last time. He scrolled up on her contact, searching for her last voicemail. There were many voicemails saved on there, each bringing back different memories. He clicked play on the top one. He knew what to expect, a kind, warm greeting, then a few words about her day, and always at the end, she would say, "Just wanted to hear your voice, just wanted to hear your voice." Why did she keep saying that? Didn't she know that she had his number memorized by heart, that she could call him any time she wanted? Wasn't it obvious that he loved hearing her voice too? He didn't understand. Now he wished he could hear her voice just one more time. Maybe if he played the recording again, she would appear at the other end. He kept playing it over and over, memorizing each word, trying to fill the void inside of him. Her last voicemail was all he had left of her. Daniel packed a bag and headed back home. The car ride was silent, filled with guilt. He replayed that voicemail in his head over and over again, analyzing every little thing she said, every breath she took, wishing that she was still on the other end. His mum's house was quiet. The air was heavy with the smell of fresh flowers. All of the furniture was covered with white sheets. Daniel found his dad sitting alone on a couch. When he saw Daniel come in, he got up and hugged his son, then returned to his seat without saying a word. He looked at Daniel, his eyes filled with sorrow, but also with anger. Daniel knew his dad blamed him for not taking care of their mother, for letting her live out her final days alone. He didn't even bother arguing. He deserved it. He understood why his father was upset. On the kitchen counter, Daniel found a box full of his mum's belongings. He opened it slowly and carefully. First, he saw a half-knitted sweater. His mom loved to knit, and this one was meant for him. Next, there was a stack of old photos, which he looked at one by one, reliving past memories, laughing, crying, and underneath those, he found an old cassette tape. He didn't recognize the album art, but he felt something drawing him towards it. He put it in his mum's old Walkman, placed the headphones on, and pressed play. It was her voice. She was singing along to the music. It was one of her favorite songs. "Every time I see a yellow leaf, it makes me think of you. Every time I hear a songbird, it makes me want to sing too." He listened to the whole album. The more he listened, the more tears he cried. He hated himself for not noticing that she was gone, hated himself for not calling her more often. For weeks after the funeral, Daniel couldn't shake off that feeling of regret. He couldn't shake off the memory of his mum's sad, accusing eyes. He would replay that voicemail in his head, non-stop, wishing that he could just hear her voice one more time. He started avoiding his friends and colleagues. Work no longer interested him. Nothing interested him. One evening, Daniel decided to visit his mum's grave. He hadn't been there yet. He wanted to see it for himself, to make sure that she was really gone. He sat there for hours talking to her, telling her about his day, about his feelings, about everything. But mostly he just listened to the wind blowing through the trees, waiting for her to reply. When the sun set and he had to go home, he leaned over her grave and whispered, "I'm sorry, I never called you." He imagined her replying, but all he heard was the wind. So he stood up, brushed off the dirt on his clothes and walked away. Back home, he went to his room and poured himself a glass of water. Suddenly, he stopped. What was that sound? Did she just answer? Was she calling him? He ran to his phone. He checked the screen. There were no missed calls. Disappointed, he returned to his glass of water. Was it really her? Had she tried to reach out to him? He shook his head, dismissing the idea. Still, he couldn't help but feel that maybe she was right. Maybe he should have called her more often. Maybe he should have made time for her. In the following days, he started calling her number again, hoping that she would pick up, but it only rang. He also started seeing her face everywhere, in strangers passing by on the street, in the TV shows he watched, even in his dreams. He felt like she was haunting him, reminding him of his mistake. Finally, he started taking small steps outside again. He began visiting his friends and slowly started working again. One evening, while scrolling through old messages, he came across one from his mum. It was a voicemail. This one was from 2 months ago. He clicked play. "I've been trying to reach you for the past 3 days, but you haven't been answering any of my calls. Are you mad at me? Is everything okay? Please, call me back. I miss you." Hearing those words made him feel weak. Why didn't he listen to her when she needed him? Why didn't he call her back? He had let her down. He had ignored her. From that day on, he promised himself that he would never ignore those who mattered again. He would take time to listen. He would call back. He wouldn't leave things unsaid. He would show his loved ones how much he appreciated them. One evening, sitting in his quiet apartment, he picked up his phone. He knew exactly who he was going to call. He dialed the number, then brought the receiver to his ear. This time, he waited patiently. On the other end, the line was silent. He waited some more. Then he heard a familiar voice. He had finally reached her.